The rain hammered against the windows, blurring the neon lights of the city into an impressionist painting of color and light. Inside the cozy confines of the apartment, two figures sat close, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of the laptop screen. "Are you sure about this? You can't take back what you said." The voice was deep, a rumble of concern. "I am," the other replied, their voice shaking slightly. "I have to do this. For me? For Lily?" The first voice sighed, defeated. "Very well. But please, whatever happens, remember who you are." "I won't forget." The second figure nodded, a determined set to their jaw. With a deep breath, they began typing, sending a message into the digital void. Moments later, a reply popped up on the screen. A simple, "Hey." Two hearts floated above the message, dancing in the air like joyous spirits. A smile touched the second figure's lips, but it was tinged with sadness. "I hope you're happy, Lily. I hope you find your happily ever after. But please promise me you'll be careful. Love can be a battlefield." The first figure reached out, their fingers hovering above the keyboard. "I promise." And with that, the message was sent. The night deepened, the rain outside intensifying. Inside the apartment, the glowing screen casts long shadows on the walls, as if the digital world was seeping into reality. Each ping of a notification made the second figure's heart race. What would come of this? Would it be happiness or heartache? Only time would tell. As the night wore on, the second figure found themselves lost in a labyrinth of emotions, excitement, fear, hope. The possibilities stretched before them like a vast, uncharted sea. They knew there was a chance of storms ahead, but they were also prepared for sunshine. After all, life is but a gamble, a roll of the dice, a leap of faith. And tonight, the second figure was taking a chance on love. The story you just heard is similar to the journey many of us go through, isn't it? We send out messages into the world, hoping for connection, for love, but we also have to be prepared for the outcomes, the good and the bad. Now let's meet our protagonist. This is Sophie. Her life was a tightly wound melody, each day blending seamlessly into the next. Work, gym, home, sleep. It was a rhythm she liked. It was predictable, safe. Predictable, safe. That was how she wanted to live. Sophie believed love was nothing more than a distraction, a dangerous game she no longer wanted to play. The memories of past heartbreaks were still too raw, the wounds too fresh. One evening, her co-worker, Sarah, cornered her at the office. "You're coming to the party with us? No excuses." Sophie tried to protest, but Sarah wasn't having it. "I know you hate parties, but trust me, this one will be fun." "Come on, please," she pleaded. Sophie sighed. How could she say no to that face? At the party, Sophie wished she had stayed home. The music was deafening, the lights harsh, and the crowd suffocating. She was about to make a graceful exit when she saw her. Claire was like a supernova in the vast darkness of the night, drawing everyone's attention to her. There was something about Claire that intrigued Sophie, something that made her want to understand the melody that composed Claire's soul. As the night deepened, Sophie found herself drawn to Claire. Their eyes met across the crowded room, and a jolt of energy passed between them. It was as if the universe itself had orchestrated that moment. Curiosity tugged at Sophie, urging her closer. Claire's laughter was like wind chimes, her smile like the sunrise, Sophie wanted to reach out and touch that smile, to hold it like a precious jewel. Taking a deep breath, Sophie decided to approach her. She walked towards Claire, her heart beating a wild rhythm against her ribs. As she neared, she saw Claire talking animatedly to a group of people, taking a cue from them. Sophie joined the circle. From the corner of her eye, she saw Claire look up and their gazes locked. Sophie felt her breath hitch in her throat. Claire's eyes were like pools of starlight, reflecting the myriad emotions within her. In that moment, Sophie knew she was witnessing the unfolding of something extraordinary. The evening unfolded like a poem. Sophie and Claire talked for hours, sharing stories, dreams, and fears. With Claire, Sophie felt seen, truly seen. For the first time in a long time, she felt like she could be herself, could be vulnerable and honest without fear of judgment. As the party wound down, Claire and Sophie found themselves sitting on a bench outside the house, the cool night air wrapping around them like a blanket. There was a comfortable silence between them, a silence that spoke volumes. It was then that Claire turned to Sophie, her eyes shining with an emotion Sophie couldn't quite decipher. "Sophie, she began, her voice barely a whisper. Then she leaned in, her lips brushing against Sophie's. The kiss was tentative at first, like a butterfly's touch. Then it deepened, becoming a symphony of passion and longing. For Sophie, it was a revelation, a burst of fireworks in her soul. She had thought love was a myth, a fairy tale, but here it was, tangible, real. The next morning, Sophie awoke with a start. The memory of the previous night flooded back, bringing with it a rush of emotions. Had it been a dream? Was it real? Glancing at the empty space beside her, she realized it wasn't a dream. Claire was gone, leaving behind the lingering scent of vanilla and a heart full of questions. Sophie spent the day replaying the events of the previous night, analyzing every word, every touch, every stolen glance. She told herself it had been nothing, just a momentary lapse in her otherwise perfect life plan. But deep down, she couldn't help but wonder if Claire was more than just a fleeting fancy. Days turned into a week, yet Sophie couldn't shake off the memory of Claire. She tried burying herself in work, but Claire's laughter echoed in her ears. She attempted to distract herself with friends, but their faces seemed blurred compared to the vivid image of Claire. Claire became a constant presence in Sophie's thoughts, a melody she couldn't escape. One evening, Sophie found herself standing outside Claire's apartment building. She hadn't meant to come here, but her feet had led her to this doorstep without her conscious direction. As she stood there, the weight of her feelings crashed over her. She was in love with Claire. The realization hit her like a tidal wave, threatening to drown her. But instead of retreating, Sophie pressed her intercom button, ready to face the torrent of emotions that awaited her. Claire opened the door, her face a mixture of surprise and delight. "Sophie, what are you doing here?" she asked, her voice echoing the sentiment in her eyes. I need to tell you something," Sophie stammered, her heart pounding against her ribs. She took a deep breath and poured out her feelings, confessing the love that had been consuming her. To her surprise, Claire reciprocated those feelings, admitting she had fallen for Sophie as well. And so their journey began, a journey of love, laughter, challenges, and growth. Together, they navigated the complexities of relationships, learning to communicate, compromise, and trust. They faced external judgments and internal battles, but their love served as their guiding star, leading them through the darkness and illuminating their path. As the years passed, their love deepened, becoming a rich tapestry woven with shared experiences, dreams, and aspirations. They supported each other through career changes, personal growth, and family issues, proving that their bond was unbreakable. Through it all, they cherished every moment, knowing that their love story was a testament to the power of connection, acceptance, and the courage to embrace love in all its forms. Isn't it amazing how a chance encounter at a party can lead to a lifetime of love? Sophie and Claire's story is a reminder to stay open to new experiences, to embrace the unexpected turns of life, because you never know where you might find love.